Welcome, everybody, to episode number 4 in our AI in e-mobility series. In the previous episodes, we've explored the role of AI in various parts of the battery and EV ecosystem, from battery chemistry and design with a startup called 𝗥𝗲𝗄𝗃 to development and testing with Monolith. And today, I'm very excited, we're focusing on the actual battery manufacturing and how AI is revolutionizing this space. According to McKinsey, along the automotive OEM value chain, the largest absolute cost reduction effects through AI or digital solutions are found in the manufacturing area. So there is a lot of potential. I'm super excited to have Virginie Turc from Hexagon Manufacturing Intelligence with us today. I personally know Hexagon from the simulation space. So they offer great CAE simulation software in the battery area. And for some of my audience, you know that Hexagon actually came out to our garage to make a 3D scan of my Jeep for my EV conversion project. So we could create a 3D CAD model. And then we also did a bunch of simulations together. And Hexagon is also very active in the battery manufacturing area, applying AI to various use cases. And Virginie is Business Development Manager in the battery and energy storage systems. So thank you so much for joining and welcome.
Thank you so much, Veronika, for your invitation.
Are you calling in from France right now?
Completely.
Awesome.
In rainy Paris.
Wow, this is so cool. Well, maybe just as a start, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, how you came to your current role at Hexagon?
Yes, of course. So to be very honest, I'm coming for what we call the old world. So I've got a fluid dynamics engineering degree that I've coupled with a specialization in petroleum product with internal combustion engines specialization. So I work for quite a long time in the automotive world. And 3 years ago, I had a manager internally at Hexagon who challenged me a little on the battery topics. So initially, it was quite a duty, to be very honest. But I would say the subject became more and more attractive and fascinating. So at this time, I was working in the software division, but I was also very curious to learn about all the possibility, all the solution of Hexagon with the other branch of Hexagon. And somehow my curiosity paid internally because now I'm proposing the different solution across the BU. So
yeah, I think that's a nice story. And of course, that's true for so many other people. They're kind of transitioning from like what you call the old world into the new battery world. And we need that transition to happen. So what does Hexagon do generally? And then also in the context of battery manufacturing. And of course, we talk about the details later, but just to give everybody an overview first.
Yes, so Hexagon Manufacturing Intelligence is part of Hexagon AB, which is a Swedish company. And our division is mainly focused in providing software for design engineering or for production, but also quality inspection solution during the manufacturing process. In terms of battery manufacturing, we are mainly offering, to be honest, quality inspection solution. So it can be like checking the quality of the separator film for the incoming goods, or it can be also proposing some non-destructive evaluation analysis of the anode overhang, for example. So in both cases, we are using AI to detect the defect.
As in every other episode, I kind of want to start out talking a little bit about how you personally use AI. What is artificial intelligence for you, also to kind of set the stage for what we're talking about later? So first of all, what does AI mean to you? How would you define it?
So AI for me, it's a kind of a magic tool, which gives you the superpower. But at the same time, it has no civil liabilities. It has this extreme good student, which is not even 100% perfect. And I'm always saying that we need to keep our critical sense and objectivity. On the other hand, it's so powerful, so useful that I don't see the future of the manufacturing without AI, to be honest.
Definitely. And I think across everybody like that I talk to, and also the real experts, there is this combination of excitement, but then also kind of fear. And I think it's okay to have both at the same time and, understand that there are challenges and uncertainties, but there is so much potential, which we will explore in a little bit. Do you use currently AI in your personal life, and how?
Of course. To be honest, I'm I'm the mom of a 5-year-old son, so time is a key topic. And of course, using AI can help me to save a lot of time. I also like to utilize AI to learn more and faster. So that's increasing a lot my curiosity because, of course, the answer is coming much faster than before. So I have very quickly the second question. I also like to utilize AI to challenge me, to correct me, but also to really to increase my imagination. I would say this can be also a good tool for this type of application.
That's for creativity, right?
Yes, I think like everyone, I'm using Midjourney. So of course, I'm playing sometimes just with the tool that we have at our disposal.
Yes,
Personally,
and
on my
I can really identify with your story because I have a 15 months old now. Like you say, if you only have those couple hours a day and you can't put in those extra hours overnight or whatsoever, then you really want to be very efficient. And for me too, in my personal and then also in my professional life, I mainly use it to increase my productivity and I can do work for more than one person. So it's just interesting. How did you get into AI? When did that happen? And how do you learn about it?
So to be honest, it started 3 years ago, mainly by curiosity. I wanted to better understand the semantic, and then I've been attending to some conference, and I had the chance to meet very, I would say, passionate experts. And so they opened me the door for what we call the possible field, in French. Yes, that's opening eyes to everything. So it was very interesting. And this is also when you are meeting such people who are very passionate, then everything becomes easy to understand, it's and then you are willing to go further.
Yes, yes, that's amazing. Let's now talk about the use cases that you have in the area of artificial intelligence with Hexagon. So can you provide us a little bit of an overview? What are the different areas that Hexagon is using AI in products and processes with their customers?
So Hexagon can propose AI solution either in software or hardware. And that's really one of our strengths, I will say. So we can propose AI software as a standalone solution for design engineering. So it is Odyssey, but it's also embedded into our FEA or CFD solution. And but if I really focus on the battery manufacturing now, I would say that we are really proposing AI for checking the incoming goods during some quality gate check, but also the final product after the assembly.
Okay. Let's talk about the battery manufacturing, of course, a little in a little more detail. So let's start with cell manufacturing. So when we look at the individual steps in the battery manufacturing process of a typical gigafactory, so electrode production, cell assembling, and cell finishing, where are Hexagon products used in this process and how?
So as I was mentioning, we have the incoming goods. So even before the production starts. But then after we can, for example, detect the electrode burr. So we can support at least the edge detection. Then we can also propose solution to check the visual defect, like the spot, the scratch, the little pins on, for example, the separator film, but also the bubble on the coated battery at the end. And this type of solution are mainly used at cell level. Another cell level example, it will be like the CT scan analysis of a cell, because before, at the end of well, it's not exactly at the end of the finishing product, but before going to aging and formation, then you don't want to send, I would say, a defected cell to this step, because it's too long in terms of time. And so you don't want to lose or to waste 1 or 2 weeks. And this is why we are also proposing non-destructive evaluation with the ability to check the anode overhangs, the delamination, potential inclusion, etc.
And if I can ask, like, how are those things done today, or are they kind of not done? Or can they be done without AI?
So they are done today, but it's a very long process. And that's why AI can help. So indeed, we are using AI to improve the picture or to better visualize the picture, the segmentation somehow of the anode overhang, but we can also propose this solution, for example, coupled with deep learning to accelerate the quality inspection. And this is where it gave an added value to the cell manufacturer.
And then you also mentioned that, so those use cases that you just mentioned, they were on the cell level, but there is also something going on the module and pack level, right?
Completely. So we can also propose a solution with AIs included for what we call GD&D. That means checking the dimension of a cell, of a module and pack, the space between the cell, etc., or even the flatness. So this is more on module and pack, for example.
So if we now talk very generally speaking, I mean, about the role of AI in battery manufacturing, I kind of asked you, how is it done today? How is it done without AI? So, but what really is the role of AI? What are the challenges where AI actually makes the difference?
So for me, AI, we see its usage growing to really predict the quality and to optimize the process, because one of the pain in cell manufacturing, this is the scrap rate. So everyone wants to reduce the scrap rate. To be honest, in Europe, we are very political correct when we have to pronounce a percentage.
Yes.
So we are saying maybe 20%, but we are
Yes.
political correct, you know?
In the past, I think the number that was out there was even 30 to 40%. I know that it's much lower right now, but yes, I guess I understand that it significantly can help reducing the scrap rate, right?
Exactly. And then the AI will also help to reduce the time inspection, because there is also this challenge to scale up the production. So at the end, what we will get with AI is to have safer battery, but also with higher profitability.
Now, what type of AI are we talking about when we think of those use cases? People are talking about machine learning, deep learning, neural networks. Like, what type of AI is used?
So for our solution in battery manufacturing, we are using deep learning with CNN model. That means it's imitate the brain, so the human brain somehow. So what we try to do is to collect and to acquire some data, to identify, to classify them, and then to train the model. If we don't have enough data, because that's also the problem of the beginning, I would say, when we want to implement AI, we can also utilize synthetic picture or auto augmentation to simulate even more data. And at the end, we will get what we call a weight file.
Can you explain that a little bit more in detail on how you actually work together with your customers in terms of who actually generates the data? Is it at the customer side? And then I don't know, how much data are we talking about? What really is the input and output? And just to give a little more insight.
So yes, the data are coming from the customer, and we try to collect as much as we can. And otherwise, this is where we utilize, I would say, auto augmentation in case we don't have enough data to start to train the model. But yes, it's a real collaboration at the beginning before implementing AI. It's not just a switch off, switch on bottom, you know? It's deserving a little more of work.
Yes. And then, of course, I'm very curious, how susceptible are your clients to AI-empowered solutions? Are they like, hey, that's cool, let's do it? Are there challenges, concerns, fears on customer side?
So historically, we have Chinese customers using this type of technology. So of course, there is no fear at all from our customer, because they are very driven by efficiency and accuracy. I would say it's a beginning in Europe, so it's another way. But of course, everyone is looking at it because we all have the same target, which is efficiency and accuracy. We do it, maybe not as emotional than, or I would say as straightforward than in China, but we do it.
Yes. And I think a good way to take away those concerns is really being transparent and talking about numbers. So is there a use case where you could quantify the value added with AI? You know, real examples, some numbers?
Yes, so for the electrode burr detection, for example, we were able to improve the inspection time by 30%. The efficiency has been improved by 98%, and the repeatability also of the process was improved by 48%. So that's quite good numbers. But of course, I would say the number, they are really related to the application. So I won't utilize those numbers for every application.
Sure, but these are very promising numbers.
Exactly.
That would convince me. Well, thank you for sharing all the details about the use cases that Hexagon is currently working on. Now, in the last part of our little conversation, I would like to understand a little bit better where you and Hexagon are kind of headed in terms of AI solutions and how you really see the future of our industry with all the buzz that's going on with AI. You mentioned you're kind of at the beginning also, and also with your customers. But where are we going?
So, the company name, at least of our division, it's Manufacturing Intelligence. So I will say a lot is already said in the name of our division. Of course, we are all looking to autonomous metrology, but AI can also be a very good tool to accelerate the learning curve and the adoption of new solution. It can ease a lot the implementation, and this is also something we are looking for the future, like improving the user experience. For me, when I'm looking at battery manufacturing, I'm sure that we will go more and more towards automation and also autonomy somehow. This is the path that I foresee, at least.
Super interesting. And then since this series that I am hosting is really designed to kind of touch on all the different aspects of the battery life cycle, including, circular economy and sustainability aspects, can you share also any initiatives or developments with Hexagon where you were creating value in those areas?
So I agree with you that in the past, everyone was focused on designing for performance, and then we started to integrate the manufacturing challenge in the design phase. And now we need to be sure that, for example, the cell that will be manufactured tomorrow will answer to sustainability purpose. Because, for example, for recyclability, quota, etc. So what we are proposing at the moment is to help the designer to work, I would say, on the raw material side by playing on the micro scale level. But we have also a focus on the disassembly because, of course, this is part of the recycling and the circular economy.
That's very exciting. So I'm assuming you really have customers along the entire value chain.
Exactly.
That's super cool to bring them all together. Last question for you. You mentioned that you're very excited to use AI in your personal life. Is there any kind of development in the AI space that you're specifically excited from a personal level? For me, for example, it's really those AI agents that I'm kind of very excited for. Right now I use a lot of those text prompt-based ChatGPT and all those tools where you kind of type in something, you get something back, but then, actually doing the job with what's called AI agents, that's kind of cool. So is there anything for you that's kind of coming up that could be very interesting?
I would say first the smart AI agent, like a little what you mentioned, of course, seems very promising and funny somehow. But I think also when we are hearing about the small language model, it will be in the future quite interesting also. I wonder what type of application, but it will be certainly.
Can you repeat that? I didn't understand that.
The small language model.
Small language models, yes, very true.
So I think it will give another aspect, or maybe we will see some solution develop in a much faster way. I don't know, but
yes,
I'm
it's
looking
only
forward.
Going to be faster and crazier than it is already. Well, thank you so much for joining this podcast series and sharing all your insights. In the next episode, I will actually speak with a company that I think you know very well too. They're called Defects, and I will explore how AI is used in the thermal management area and, of course, also using lots of AI-empowered software. So everybody stay tuned for that. Thank you again so much, and goodbye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.